Tony Hannity's here from Lazy Tech TV, and I'm here at E3 with Jonathan Strickland from HowStuffWorks.com from the podcast of tech stuff and forward thinking. Jonathan, nice to finally meet you in person. I got to say real quick, nerding out a little bit, Tom Merritt, mutual friend, actually turned me onto your podcast, and the last one that you did on the Macintosh, amazing.
Thank you.
3-part information about the Macintosh, and it's just fun-packed with information. But here at E3, you've been here for how many days?
I've been here since I got in on Saturday, so we're now on Wednesday.
Okay.
Time has no meaning when you go from East Coast time to Pacific Coast time.
Time is just relative, right?
That's right.
It's just something.
Let's talk about time dilation for a bit. You got some time? Because the faster we go, the slower this will happen.
I just watched a bunch of The Flash, so we could do Flashpoint time.
They're perfect.
What kind of stood out in going to the different booths, seeing the press events? What really surprised you or wowed you, would you say?
You know, to me, the most interesting thing is actually a little complicated in the sense that I don't know how it's going to play out, and that would be the real push from consoles to get into the 4K universe, right?
Okay.
So Xbox One X, obviously that was the big thing, was like, we're trying to future-proof this, we're trying to create the 4K set, keeping in mind that it is a very small percentage of gamers who have a 4K TV,
sure.
right? So this is sort of future-proofing, but then you ask the question, by the time people start to adopt 4K, because most of us don't buy a new TV every couple of years. Yeah. So by the time we get to a tipping point where people have 4K sets, will the Xbox One X still be relevant, or will we be looking at the next step up?
Right.
And so you have this tricky question, like, does that console make sense to purchase? Now, I'm an Xbox guy, so when I saw it, I was like, this is really great, but I don't have a 4K set either.
Sure.
So I'm kind of going back and forth on it, because once you get to the point where you're talking about pushing that graphical interface that hard, you then have the question of, well, do I do this versus investing in a PC gaming rig where I can already hit those 4K resolutions and it's modifiable. I can customize it to whatever extent I want.
To a certain degree, Microsoft seemed like they wanted to have their cake and eat it, because they were moving forward with 4K, but they are continuing on with the Xbox One S, which is relatively cheaper.
Yeah.
And it's still going to support a lot of those games in HDR as well, too.
Yes.
So,
and I would argue HDR is really more important right now than 4K.
True. Yeah. I mean, the color gamut with HDR is amazing.
Yes.
If you have the right TV for it.
Yes. Yeah.
So,
boy, standards are fun.
Yay! Let's make another one.
Yeah.
Now that's great with the hardware, and you came here and saw a lot of hardware. But was there any game that you were able to see and try that was a lot of fun for you?
The only game I really got a chance to try was Elder Scrolls Online, where they were showing off some of their arena battle games, where it's small team versus small team versus small team. My team won because I'm an objective-based gamer, and it was capture the flag, and everyone else just ran to the center like it was deathmatch. So
then you just walk around.
Exactly. I literally hugged the perimeter, grabbed flags, and came back, and that's how we won. And it's not that I'm a good gamer, I just pay attention. So, but I can tell you that there are certain games that I really hope I can get more information on, get a chance to play. I mean, Spider-Man looks like it's going to be really interesting if the gameplay is there.
That's true.
We were talking earlier about how licensed games, it's a mixed bag. I mean, we've seen so many really bad implementations of licensed characters.
More than not.
Yes. I mean, who can forget Superman 64?
I'd like to forget Superman 64.
I've had a lot of therapy sessions. It hasn't worked yet. So, but I have high hopes for it. We were talking about how pirate games are now a big thing again. So
You're a big fan of pirates.
I am a big fan of pirates. So Sea of Thieves and Skull and Bones. Yeah. I want to see more about both of those.
I've personally been waiting for Sea of Thieves since they announced it last year. So
the game I wish I could learn more about, but I can't because it's not being shown here, is Last of Us 2.
I felt Naughty Dog.
Yes, I felt The Last of Us was one of the best games in the last 5 years. One of the at least from a story component. The gameplay was good. It was solid. Like a lot of games that are really long, it can feel a bit repetitive as it goes on.
Sure.
But not to an extent of something I would argue like God of War or even Assassin's Creed. I think those games get more repetitive faster.
Well, guess what? There's a new one.
Yeah,
Yay.
yeah. I can.
Egypt,
yes. I mean, it looks great.
Yeah,
but,
sure.
And that's the thing. The games always look great.
Assassin's Creed. If you didn't know, Xbox One, it's free download right now.
Yeah.
So I played that again, Assassin's Creed 3, and yeah, pretty much the same thing. Riding on a horse, getting off, killing guys.
Yeah.
Get back on the horse, jump off the tower.
Yeah. Land into a bale of hay.
And you're right, very, very repetitive. But I do really, I did enjoy some of the trailers that I saw from the, I don't know if this is necessarily a new game, but that offshoot of Uncharted.
Yes, which is why Naughty Dog is not talking about The Last of Us 2. They don't want to overshadow the fact that they have this new spin-off of Uncharted.
Right.
Now, I got snarky on Twitter because I think of Uncharted and Tomb Raider together being falling off a mountain, the game. But that's just because that happens so frequently. Like, you'll get to a section where, you can see exactly where you want to go, and as soon as you step forward, there's a cutscene of falling all the way. Yeah, and then you're, like, dodging stuff.
Well, I stabbed Lara Croft in the throat many a times when she was going down that river.
Yeah.
So that's me.
I've also been the catalyst of many a character death at an unfortunate fall cutscene, QuickTime event sort of thing. But that being said, the Uncharted games are solid games, so I'm just really being kind of tongue-in-cheek about
Sure,
it. But,
yeah.
Yeah, and I understand from a business perspective that you don't want to talk about a game that's a little further out in the production cycle and have it overshadow something that you're putting out right
very
now.
soon. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
All right, well, that's a lot of great information. For those of the viewers that are out there that might want to find more about you, where can they go look?
Sure. Our website is howstuffworks.com, where we demystify the universe one topic at a time. I am the host of a podcast called Tech Stuff that publishes twice a week. You can find that on any podcatching service you like. I'm also the host of a video series called Forward Thinking, which you can find at youtube.com/FWThinking. That's a show that's all about the future and how we can make it awesome if we just put forth the effort and the innovation. So that's where to check out all my stuff.
Yeah, one of my favorite episodes on Forward Thinking was when you guys talked about Star Trek currency. Mm-hmm. So go check that out in the archives. Also, Inside Baseball, if they want to watch you live, you sometimes stream on Twitch. That's
true. Yeah, if you ever want to watch what it's like for a professional podcaster to record a show, you go to twitch.tv/techstuff, and on Wednesdays and Fridays I stream my recording sessions, which means the people who join get to see all the mistakes I make, the times where I have to go back and say something again, the times where I realize that I need to have a drink of water because
coughing.
Yeah, and obviously I do back and forth with the folks in chat and talk about what's going on, and if they said, hey, you explained this thing but I still don't get it, that's valuable information for me because it means that if they don't get it, the rest of my audience
That's
isn't
live
gonna get
feedback. That's great.
And awesome. I can go back and redo that part so that hopefully I can get the explanation out there more effectively.
Awesome. Yeah. Great. Well, Jonathan, thank you again very much. And thank you for watching. Make sure you subscribe, like, and share this video. If you have any questions or comments, leave that in the section below. Follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. And we'll talk to you guys in the next one. Later.